Hey, it's Marty. I'm close to losing my mind. God, I need you to please, I'm begging you, stay with me for this video. I may meander, I may take a little while, but I can't do this again. I have tried to tell you this story so many times, like 30 times, 10 of them today, and either the dog's barking, mum's yelling, I can't make sense or something's going wrong, so please just stay with me. So I'm going to do an update, obviously. First of all, no matter what your faith is, whatever your traditions are, I hope you have a lovely holidays, in case I forget this at the end. Mum and I just spending Christmas with just the two of us, and my younger sister's going to pop in, and then we'll see my other siblings, some of them on Boxing Day. So that's okay, not big. We don't really do presents, so which is fine. But yeah. Anyway, Christmas should be about family, I think. Anyway, okay, let's get to the point. So the main thing that is well, honestly, there's so many main things, but let's just start with my mouth, which I had raised money for. I've not got to see a dentist yet because I went straight from the hospital to packing and sorting and culling for the move, to moving house, to unpacking, and now crashing. And the dog's barking, I'm sorry, I can't stop. So my abscesses, which are like here, and here, and there's like another one somewhere, so much worse. They're like 4 times the size that they were, and they're causing me an enormous amount of grief. The pain's really bad. They're also triggering my trigeminal neuralgia to get worse, and that's called suicide disease. And the reason it's called the suicide disease is having experienced pain that's 10 out of 10, which sounds impossible. Have you not been slowly, gradually adding pain to your system over the time I have, and adapting to it? 10 out of 10 pain is meant to be suicide pain, but this is a whole other level of pain. It takes half of your whole head and neck, and it is so disabling. It takes me to my knees on the floor, just losing my mind with pain. The problem is that it's actually causing it to happen on both sides. So my whole head, jaw, throat, neck, all of it is excruciating. So it means I can't chew, can't eat properly, having a massive amount of trouble just coping with existing, because I've got so much other stuff going on, Alright, we're going to move to gastro stuff. So, it's still going on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've had diarrhea for I don't even know, 2/3, 3/4 of the year. And when I was in hospital, they assessed me as having 7 blockages, or something like that. 7 blockages throughout my intestinal system. So I'm a level 2 emergency gastro patient. And so the idea is to take a lot of laxatives to try and force the blockages out, which I've been doing, but it caused me to spend 7 hours on the toilet yesterday, from 11 till 6 in the morning. And I felt like afterwards, when I woke, I only had 5 hours sleep, I felt like someone had taken a baseball bat or a cricket bat and just beaten the absolute crap out of my torso and my back, and broken all my ribs. And I have actually broken ribs, so it felt very much like that, and I still am very sore, like someone who's coughed if you've ever had pneumonia and coughed incessantly, or whooping cough and coughed incessantly for like a week, and that real racking cough, so, and you end up having to hold your sides in, like with your hands, that's what my torso feels like. So it's just awful. So my doctor saw me yesterday and was like, Amara, you just shouldn't look like this. This isn't okay. You need to back off them for a while. You can't be taking laxatives. This is too dangerous for you. So I'm a bit of a quandary because I need to take them, but I can't take. I'm so sensitive. So anyway, it's also causing me to pass a lot of blood, which is very uncomfortable and also not great either. Okay, so going on to gyno now. So talking about gyno stuff. So when I was in hospital, just before hospital, I found what I thought was a growth, and they diagnosed it as a prolapse with an internal ultrasound. But these days, you do an internal ultrasound. You do it yourself, and they do the imaging. What the problem with that is that by doing it myself, I was screaming the whole time. So as I'm so used to pain, I don't make noise usually with pain. So I was losing my mind, screaming and banging the wall while it was happening and crying. And once I got back to the room, I cramped for a good 5, 6, 7 hours straight, and I felt like it just wasn't the right diagnosis, that I'd pushed the ultrasound probe thingy past the problem, and what they saw wasn't what the problem was. So having been home, I've progressively gotten worse and worse and worse, to the point that the internal part, which is the vagina, has totally closed off. So that's actually a prolapse, and that's what I've been diagnosed with by my doctor, who is quite concerned because the prolapse is so severe that I'm unable to use anything to stem the flow of blood, which is happening frequently with the passing of blood with my gastro stuff. So I'm constantly passing blood, so I'm anemic as well. And it can't kill you, but it is really dangerous because your bladder can come a long way out. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about it. It's just very uncomfortable. It's very painful and it feels very wrong. Okay, so next topic is, I guess, maybe my throat, because you can hear it. So, if you know about me, you know about my cysts. I have cysts all around the front of my throat that are like pressing on my thyroid, and I also have a swollen thyroid, and those cysts are interfering with the way my throat works in general. And for some reason, and it may be not the cysts, it may just be something to do with my pain and the tensing of my mouth and jaw, my TMJ, that I have strained vocal cords, and the back of my throat feels like a strained muscle versus a normal sore throat. So it's excruciating, to the point where with the trigeminal neuralgia, I numb my whole face and neck, front and back, like all of it. And it's the only way I can get through the day. And I keep thinking, and I think it in a way that I think's normal, that I should like swallow the numbit, which, is poison. You can't do that. But that's when I know how sick I am, because I start to think things are normal that are not normal. Like I start to think, oh, I'll just crawl, and then I'm like, hang on. You know what I mean? That's not normal. So, yeah, that's a problem, obviously. So talking and honestly doing too much of anything hurts so much. Okay, so we've done teeth, we've done gyno, we've done gastro, we've done throat. So my back's really bad. It's causing, I don't know whether or not the gastro stuff is exacerbating my back, because I have stenosis and potentially craniocervical instability, likely. Then, it's possible that my gastro stuff is sitting on a nerve or something. So we're sort of waiting to see if it passes, like when everything passes, to see if my back's any better. But my mum's going to have surgery on her back. My aunt's had surgery. It runs in her family. I would rather get the surgery done sooner rather than later. So when I get readmitted in January, February, I'm really going to sort of press that one, because I don't want to wait till I'm older to get my back done. But the problem is there's so many things that need to be sorted. I need to have an endoscopy to check what's going on with my throat because it's not getting better. I need to have a colonoscopy because we don't know if all the blockages are going to be out, but I guess an x-ray will show that. And I'm obviously going to have some sort of surgery to deal with my prolapse. So it's a problem. So I've been losing feeling in my hands and legs and feet, like right now from sitting here. I've totally lost feeling in my feet. They're like totally, I can't feel them at all, and they're hurting. So I'm having excruciating pain from that. But you know, just trying to ignore most of it, because if you think too much about it, you lose your mind. So look, lots of stuff's going on. I mean, so much stuff is going on that just shouldn't be going on. One of these things alone is too much. I do things like, this is how out of it I am, you know, because I had another minor stroke. It just mucks up my brain function. And like I got at first, like the lowest, whatever the lowest level of a chemical burn is, I got that in my eye the other day when I was trying to have a shower, my first one in ages, because I got heat stroke. And I one of the curtain rails fell down, and then ended up having to stand there holding a curtain rail because I was scared I was going to make a hole in the wall for like half an hour. And I can't even do that. I can't even stand up, let alone hold a bloody curtain rail. So I just tend to like will myself to do more than I'm capable of doing, and then I get myself in trouble. So yeah, it's just a lot. My sinuses and stuff are really bad. They're just causing me a lot of problems. It's hard to disentangle stuff. I don't even know if it's a word. It's hard to, you know, separate what belongs with what and know, because there's so many silly symptoms and so many intense symptoms. You just try not to pay attention, but in doing so you feel a bit delusional by not paying attention. How are you allowing yourself to get yourself really sick and just pretend it's okay? Anyway, I'm sorry this has taken this long, but this is the last time I'm doing this update. So thank you for following me on my journey. I do feel like I'm a different person to who I was even a year ago, because I was still such a zombie after Dad's death. And I feel much more like myself, but a more evolving version of myself as I shift and change and grow rapidly. And I hope that I'll be able to show you my, you know, in the future as it goes on, who I am. And I guess that sometimes I'm going to feel inauthentic because I'm not, you know, I'm growing at such a fast pace emotionally that it's hard to feel like yourself. But anyway, I should stop talking because I'm hurting myself and this is silly. Alright, I love you guys. Thanks for following on my journey. Of course I need your help. And of course this is a horrific time to be asking for help. But if you can help, please do. And if you can't help, please share. And regardless, I love you. I hope you have a wonderful next couple of weeks. Take care of yourself. And thanks for being you.